Hello from Echo. I'm Nicole, Development and Community Outreach Manager.
And I'm Carolyn, Design and Brand Manager here at Echo. And we're here today because we're nominating Elizabeth Nichols.
Elizabeth has worked at Echo for 13 years, teaching thousands of children who come to the museum every year. She also has a busy travel schedule, visiting hundreds of schools and rural communities, supporting teachers and students across Vermont.
Elizabeth also is in charge of our Science and Stories program. And when COVID hit, she and her partner David decided to film them online. And once she did that, she was able to bring this amazing program where she read stories and did hands-on activities to kids all across Vermont, as well as throughout the country.
And each week after she filmed the videos, she would drive to my house to drop off materials so my 4-year-old could do all of the activities. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Like all of you, my work today looks really different than it did a year ago. I am doing weekly Science and Stories for preschoolers here in my basement in this sort of makeshift studio. I'm doing engineering programs virtually with elementary school students, appearing on their whiteboards and their smartboards in their classrooms and pretending like I'm right there with them. A lot of this has felt really awkward, especially at first, but I do see how this forced work will make, in the long run, our museum programs more accessible. And that, at least, is a good thing. The best part has been the relationships that we have forged with each other as we have collectively worked together to figure out how to best serve our audiences now and deliver programs. I appreciate the support and I appreciate the community created by all of you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Julia Gray with Riverside Museum Solutions, and I am proud to have nominated the talented team at the Abbey Museum for a NEMA Excellence Award. When COVID-19 arrived in the Wabanaki homeland in March, the team at the Abbey Museum and their partners were deep into the planning for the May Abbey Museum Indian Market. This and the early July Native American Festival and Basket Makers Market are key elements of the Abbey's decolonizing work, being in service to Wabanaki and other Indigenous people and communities. Indigenous artists sell much of their work at shows like these, and the cancellation of almost all the 2020 markets would have a huge economic impact. So the team at the Abbey Museum created Digital AMIM, a day-long virtual event featuring live artist interviews, musical performances, and a film screening. They also developed an artist database to connect artists with the people who want to buy their work. As July approached, they did the same for the Native American Festival. You can check out recordings of both the events and the artist database on the Abbey's website. This innovative and rapid response by the amazing team at the Abbey Museum became a national model and is an outstanding example of how museums can adapt to serve their communities.
Thank you, NEMA, for this honor, and thank you to Julia Gray for the nomination. When I started at the Abbey in early March of this year, our team was planning to host more than 75 Indigenous artists for the 3rd annual Abbey Museum Indian Market. In the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, we decided to close to the public and pause these plans, but we knew the artists needed the income from these markets more than ever. From March 30th to May 15th, we changed everything, creating Digital AMIM to bring our artists directly into people's homes.
We created digital artist profiles to connect buyers and collectors directly to artists.
We broadcast a 6-hour live event featuring performances, discussions, and storytelling, and garnering a worldwide audience.
We hosted a first-of-its-kind virtual competition, open to public voting and free of the museum-assigned categories usually present in market competitions.
We interacted with around 1,000 viewers, answered questions in real time, and held hourly trivia contests.
With the Upstander Project, we hosted a screening and panel discussion of Dear Georgina, a follow-up to the Emmy Award-winning film Dawnland.
In July, we repeated the effort with the Digital Native American Festival in partnership with Jennifer Neptune and the Maine Indian Basket Makers Alliance. Much thanks goes out to all the artists for their participation. The entire Abbey team is pleased to accept this honor with much gratitude to the awards committee for their recognition of our effort. Thank you very much.
Chris Kauffman's official title at Lexington Historical Society is Education and Interpretation Manager, but he has always been so much more, and this year it was Chris who helped us stay afloat the most. When we had to physically close back in the spring, he was able to quickly pivot our educational program online, offering free 3D virtual tours of all 3 of our historic house museums, as well as virtual live tours for school kids and even a virtual summer camp. Over the course of the year, he was a tremendous help with several major fundraisers and also acted for several weeks as our temporary executive director. He did all of this with incredible calm and leadership while working from home and caring for 2 kids under the age of 5 simultaneously, while his wife Sarah worked tirelessly at endless hours in her role as a nurse in a hospital. We couldn't have gone through this without you, Chris, and we're so glad that you're receiving this award today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Kauffman, and I am the Education and Interpretation Manager here at Lexington Historical Society. Normally during a busy summer season, you can find me bouncing in between Buckman Tavern or the Hancock Clark House or Monroe Tavern. But obviously with the circumstances of today's world, I've been working from home a lot, but we have been working on trying to turn our visitor in-person experience into a virtual experience in the start of the spring and the early summer. So that took up, it's what I worked on a lot. And then luckily we were able to open in October here at Buckman Tavern. So here I am in Buckman Tavern in the tap room. So it's been one of my really big achievements that I'm really proud of, is that we were able to kind of turn this historic space into a socially distanced historic space and able to welcome some visitors for the month of October and November. So that's been a really big project that I'm really happy about.
Nancy Rexford first worked at Historic Northampton from 1975 to 1984. She organized the museum's costume collection, which is recognized nationally. By 2013, Historic Northampton faced closure and could not afford to hire a paid director. Nancy became acting director, serving without compensation. She drove out from her home in eastern Massachusetts and slept on the office floor to work day and night for days at a time. In 19 months, she worked every miracle necessary to reconstitute the organization. She obtained preservation grants totaling over $300,000 to address deferred maintenance from foundation to roof. Working with a new board, program attendance and membership quadrupled. Historic Northampton moved from the depths of despair to the heights of success. Nancy Rexford's heroic efforts set Historic Northampton back on the path to a vibrant museum that flourishes today.
Hello, I'm Nancy Rexford. Thank you, NEMA, for honoring me with this award. But I was just one part of saving Historic Northampton. We succeeded because Stan Shearer produced a constant stream of public programming, and because Kim Graham tamed the wilderness on our grounds. Their efforts inspired the town to pitch in. The Community Preservation Committee funded restoration work, the Gazette told our story, and an anonymous donor gave us a generous challenge grant to rebuild our membership. Board members and other volunteers cheerfully shouldered tasks, most of which were either filthy or tedious. I'm especially grateful to President Kiki Smith, our wonderful contractor Chris Thompson, and timber framer Alicia Spence, and of course Museum Administrator Marie Panic. The directors who followed me kept up the good work, and the place is now in better shape than it has ever been. All these people deserve to be recognized, and on their behalf, thank you.
Hello, my name is Nicole Mello. I work at the Longfellow House, Washington's headquarters, National Historic Site. I'm unfortunately not on site today. We have not been on site all season because of the pandemic, so we've been doing totally remote programming, which has actually been really cool, and part of why I'm really excited about the NEMA Excellence Award. We've been doing a lot of interpreting queer history online, which makes it a lot more accessible to people who haven't been able to come into the site. I've been doing a lot of work interpreting, researching queer history at the Longfellow House in the few years I've been there. So now that I'm able to actually reach out to people outside of the community of Cambridge, Massachusetts and Boston, Massachusetts, and start going not only to the opposite coast, but now around the world. It's been a really unique opportunity. So even though I can't be at the site and I can't be at the NEMA conference in person, it's kind of a really awesome season to try all this new stuff. So thank you so much for acknowledging this and helping me work towards making queer history just part of history.
Hello, my name is Pilar Garrow, and I'm the Director of Development here at the House of the Seven Gables in Salem, Massachusetts, and also a NEMA board member. I nominated my colleague, Julie Arrison-Bishop, for a NEMA Excellence Award to honor the incredible amount of work that she has done this past year. In just 1 year, she has implemented a new interpretive plan. She has stepped into this new role of Director of Community Engagement, taking on so much more work, including visitor services. And she has beautifully executed a COVID-19 response and reopening plan for the House of the Seven Gables. In a nutshell, Julie has done it all. The amount of 3 or 4 people, and she's done it with a ton of grace. Thank you, Julie. So for this, I am honored to nominate you and award you with a NEMA Excellence Award. You are a rock star. Thank you for everything you've done, Julie.
My name is Julie Arrison-Bishop. I'm the Community Engagement Director at the House of the Seven Gables. And I just wanted to send a thank you for the NEMA Excellence Award for 2020. It has been a really long year for all of us in planning and figuring out COVID and coming up with the next steps forward for all of our different institutions. So I also just want to congratulate all of you out there for making it through a year with some really difficult decisions and really difficult planning. In some ways, I think that we all deserve a NEMA Excellence Award for this year. I love museums. I love everything that they stand for. I so appreciate the chances I have every day to educate the public and educate school children and work in the variety of settings that we have, both in person here at the House of the Seven Gables and virtual and online settings, and really being able to share 4 centuries of New England history with everybody who we encounter. So again, I just want to say thank you so much to the New England Museum Association and my colleagues for this award. I am honored and touched and greatly appreciative. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Rapsis, Executive Director of the Aviation Museum of New Hampshire. That's where we are today, and I'm here to tell a little bit about what we're doing in our programming. One thing that we've been doing in the last 2 years is we've had an innovative high school outreach program in which we have students building an airplane, high school students building a plane. What could go wrong? But as part of our educational outreach program, we want to work with students to inspire them to know about careers in aerospace and aviation. And so what better way than to get into the classroom with them and help them work on a project that they will never forget. And so I will show you, we have right here part of the airplane that is now under construction at the Manchester School of Technology by a team of about 20 high school students. Every day they have workshop time. They go in with a team of volunteers from our aviation museum community, and they work on assembling what's called an RV-12 IS, a light sport aircraft. It's a 2-seat, it's an all-metal aircraft. And let me show you a quick picture of what that looks like when it's done. If you can see, that's what they're building. And it's a hands-on experience that allows students to take what they learn in their science and math and engineering classrooms and put it to work in the workshop with people who have done this before. And so there's a remarkable knowledge transfer that's part of this program that I think is one of the best things about it. And also, when the plane is finished, it gets sold on the open market. There's a market for these planes. And the money will be used to pay for the next series of kits to build another plane. So students will continually have this assembly line going, and it's a self-sustaining program. So that's an example of what we're trying to do at the Aviation Museum of New Hampshire, to go beyond our museum's 4 walls, reach out to the community and involve the business community and the public and the education community in a partnership in which everyone benefits. So I hope you can come visit us at the Aviation Museum. We're at Manchester Boston Regional Airport. See you real soon.
Hello, I'm Scott Smith from the Bruce Museum. I am proud to have nominated my colleague Corinne Flax for a NEMA Excellence Award. 2020 has been a trying time for us all, on numerous fronts, and Corinne has more than stepped up to the challenge. As our manager of community and school partnerships, she has forged close ties with area schools, and in particular with diverse groups that have traditionally been underserved by cultural institutions. As the pandemic crisis spread, she and her fellow educators at the museum shifted rapidly to offering online programs, from backyard lessons for budding naturalists to art workshops for seniors. And in response to the ongoing Black Lives Matter movement, Corinne has been instrumental in developing a series of resource materials and online tools aimed at helping families have productive, age-appropriate conversations about the topics of race and racism. Congratulations, Corinne, on being recognized by NEMA for all your hard work and success.
Hi, I'm Corinne Flax, Manager of School and Community Partnerships at the Bruce Museum, and I want to thank Scott Smith for nominating me for an NEMA Excellence Award. And can you believe it? I actually won! Amazing. So thank you so much. I just want to say that I am grateful for the opportunities that my job presents me with every day to partner with amazing community organizations like Ableist, Building One Community Center, the Greenwich Senior Center, the Greens of Greenwich, the entire Greenwich Public School District, the Greenwich Arts Council, and so many more that I can't even name right now. The opportunities at this job to work within the community have been absolutely astounding, even when I'm working from my kitchen here at home in Harlem. And so I just wanted to say thank you so much, and that every single day that I get to work with our community is a good day. So thank you.